This, if you are given the opportunity to come back to life and do this again, are you going to choose China and do it again?
Most probably yes, because that's the place to be. Yeah, today we are facing some challenges internationally, but still, if you look, the 40 years of changes I have seen in this country is really impressive. There is no any other place in the world where you have seen so many changes. You should realize when I came to China 1980, 1981, and then you saw Beijing, gosh, that was really countryside, man. There was only one high building, which was the Beijing Hotel, and that was it. And everything was like countryside.
Would you say you are the most decorated foreigner in China?
Most decorated, I'm not sure, but surely one of the most decorated.
One of the most decorated.
Yeah, because I don't know what decoration I still can have more. This is
who is this man right here?
This is Guo Jinglong, was the mayor of Beijing 2010, and I was appointed as the only foreigner to prepare the 12th five-year plan.
Woman right here.
Vice Premier Madame Wu Yi, who is a fantastic lady, really. So I also was a torchbearer.
A torchbearer for the Olympics.
For the Olympics, that was actually an event in Hangzhou. Premier Hu Jintao, who is sitting here.
Yeah, that's it. Hi, 1, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, welcome back again to the channel. Today
Hello,
we are
hello.
back. We are back in Beijing, and I have a special guest. I'm in someone's precious house. He invited me over to show me some of the souvenirs he has collected over the years in China. I want him to do the intro, so I'll turn the camera to him, and he's going to talk about himself real quick. Okay, so today we're here with my man. So, sir, do a little intro of yourself.
Hello, everybody. Yes, you're in our home office. This is close to Gongti Worker Stadium. And this is a little bit, I could call it the wall of fame, but this is especially the wall of souvenirs. The wall is a little bit too small because we could hang up a lot more on the wall. So maybe we can start here.
Okay,
somewhere.
so a little intro, like who you are, how long you've been in China. For people who doesn't know you and watching this video for the first time, who are you and what do you do in China? How long have you been living in China?
My name is Gilbert Van Kerckhove. I'm from Belgium. I have only a very few years in China, only 44 years.
Only 44 years?
Came to China first time in 1980. Never had an idea I would stay here so long time. I came here for a job to open an office in Beijing. And yes, the years went by, and okay, 2025, I'm still around here. And apparently I must like it, because otherwise why I would stay so many years in Beijing, right? So yes, you already know, thanks to our friends who did a fabulous interview about me, a little bit about my background. And here you can see a little bit of the results of the background. I don't know where I should start.
Okay, so these are the, would you say you are the most decorated foreigner in China?
Most decorated, I'm not sure, but surely one of the most decorated.
One of the most decorated.
Yeah, because I don't know what decoration I still can have more.
Okay, so we're going to start from what I really saw about you was you were one of the people who pioneered the Beijing Olympic Games. Do you have any souvenir to show
Yes, sure.
about the Beijing Olympic Games?
Sure.
Okay, so let's take it from that place first.
Well, let me say, this is my small little souvenir of the projects that gave me most headaches. It was the bird's nest. So there has been a lot of movies about it, the whole story of the bird's nest. And well, this is...
Who is this man right here?
This is Guo Jinglong, was the mayor of Beijing 2010. And I was appointed as the only foreigner to prepare the 12th five-year plan.
Wow. Okay, let's go to this
Yeah.
right here.
So
Who is this? And
this is that time Mayor Wang Xishan, who is of course now is vice premier. I got the Great Wall Friendship Award that you can see here. Is this one?
so this is the Great Wall Friendship Award that
Yes.
you received. In which year was this?
2004.
2004.
Yeah, I show you.
Oh, Right here. This is the Chinese, and this is the English. Certificate of the Great Friendship Award is presented to Gilbert Van. Okay, wow.
So this
2004.
2004. At that time, he was actually my big boss. He was then mayor and overseeing the whole preparation of the Olympics. And 1 year later,
Who is this woman
is
right here?
Vice Premier Madame Wu Yi, who is a fantastic lady. Really, I miss her because she was one of the best vice premiers we ever had in China. And I got
She was the vice premier of China.
Yeah.
The whole of China.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And which year was this?
2005.
And you received the Friendship Award. Which
The
award?
Friendship Award, which is this one. So this is actually the highest award
For a
foreigner
foreigner
can receive
in China.
in China. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you received this in 2005.
2005. Yes.
Wow.
And the same time, there was also a meeting with Premier Hu Jintao, who is sitting here.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
yeah.
Hu Jintao. And Gilbert is somewhere here. Yeah,
Whoa.
2005.
2005.
So that was the same. Yeah. So was of course a very big event, very proud.
Okay, let's go to this picture right
This
here.
is the King Albert II from Belgium,
Belgium.
who came to Beijing. I forgot the year. I think it was 2005. I have to look a little bit. 2005. Yes, I was in 2005. I met King Albert II. At the same time, I met other famous people. This is the president of the International Olympic Committee. His name is Jacques Rogge, who is actually from the same city as I am, from Ghent, went to the same university. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh.
This is the famous sculptor Olivier Strebel, who also sadly passed away. So this is me with Jacques Rogge, my wife.
Oh, nice.
And now when I say the famous sculpture, then you have to look this one here, because I made the biggest sculpture in Asia.
You did.
Yes, I'm responsible for the project. Was done by Olivier Strebel. Now, if I have to show you how it is, you see from the side you cannot look anything, right?
Right.
Now, you look from here exactly in the center. You
I
will
can
see
see
5 athletes holding up the 5 Olympic rings, but you
Oh,
must be
yes.
exactly in the center.
Right, I see that right from the center, right here.
Yes. So this is in the Olympic Park. In the west side of the Olympic Park was a gift from Belgian king to the city of Beijing. So it was a very complicated project, as you can imagine. So many other, things. I also got Shanghai, the White Magnolia Award, because I also did some crazy things in that city.
In Shanghai?
Shanghai, this was my project.
This is the Shanghai
Subway,
subway.
line number 3. It was the first subway line, as I recounted the history to you last time. It was the first subway line authorized after the market came open again in China for the subways.
Whoa.
So I have a multitude
You
of
have a
other-
multitude, like a lot of. And
Yeah.
what about these books?
These books,
Are you also a writer?
yes. This is my book, Toxic Capitalism, that is a very detailed study of environmental issues with a very big focus on the problems in China. It was written in 2012, gives a very detailed overview of air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, what the country is doing to improve it. And this is another book, completely different. It's a collection of jokes.
Okay.
And it's Anglo-Saxon humor. It's kind of interesting for Chinese friends to read it because, as you know, jokes in English, Chinese don't understand, we foreigners, we don't understand always the Chinese jokes. So for Chinese people who want to be more familiar with Western culture, this is a very great book. It's a collection of jokes I collected over a period of at least 20 years. Oh. And one day I said, what I'm going to do with it? I just publish it in a book. So, and this is a book that was done by the Chinese government about several people like me. And inside that book, there is a whole section that talks about me.
It was written by the Chinese people?
By Chinese people, yes. So this is how it looks like. The changes that have taken place in China are unique in the world, with Gilbert. So the reporter who wrote it, he did really a fantastic job.
He documented your life here in China.
Yeah. So he really did a fantastic job. So it was so good that I decided to help him a lot to improve the draft, to add some things that he didn't know about. And so I'm very, very happy with it. Unfortunately, the book in print, you cannot get it. You can only get it in Kindle on Amazon.
Oh, so what about this picture?
This picture is one of the main occupations I have currently. It's with the group UWEE, and we had just the 10th anniversary of the group. It's a group that is very active in education. They have university locations in Paris, in Europe, everywhere, Malaysia, and they have more than 400 people. They have a big office in Beijing, a big office in Shandong, and we work together very closely. I'm actually the rotating chairman of the group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so very interesting job because we meet a lot of people from universities all over the world. It can be UK. They also represent a very high level university in London, but they also have a lot of links with people from Russia, from Belarus, from many other countries. Very exciting. Because of them, I go very often to many locations in China to give seminars, to talk with the local authorities. And I'm also, under this umbrella, heading a group of foreign specialists.
Okay.
So it's a group of foreign specialists. I started it up under the auspices of the Beijing government, actually of the Organization of Foreign Experts in China. And so many things.
And these are Beijing Expat Life
Expat Life Awards. This is one of the many green cards I got. So totally I've got 4 green cards.
4 green cards?
I am at my number 4 right now. It's kind of interesting story.
So, I mean, looking at your life here, if one day the Chinese government wants to grant you a citizenship, are you going to accept it?
No, I remain Flemish, Belgium, European. I adapt to the culture in China. I respect my culture. I respect Chinese culture. So, but I have to keep my Belgian
citizenship.
Yeah.
So there's no way you're going to denounce your citizenship for Chinese citizenship.
No. I prefer my Belgian passport.
Highlight of your life in China from all the collection that you have here.
It's a very interesting question. It's very difficult to reply because, okay, there were so many completely different highlights. Of course, the Olympics have been really a very big event. It was a very difficult story. This is why I got all the decorations, because I really helped Beijing tremendously for the Olympics. So I would say some of these events with Wang Xishan and with Madame Wu Yi were of course very big highlights, but there were so many others. You know, this is actually here quite of interesting picture, because who is this? It's Prince Philip, who decorated me in the embassy in Beijing, but now he's King Philip.
This is the King Philip of
King
Belgium.
Philip, yes.
Okay.
So he succeeded to his father, Albert II, and now it's King Philip. That time I worked with him a lot. because the sculpture I mentioned here, I used Prince Philip a lot to come to Beijing and to discuss with the authorities in Belgium about the sculpture. So of course I'm very proud. I'm a Knight in the Order of the Crown in Belgium. Yeah, but you know, many other interesting stories. There's actually Justine Henin, who congratulates Kim Kleisters. They are both two very famous tennis players, women tennis players. They came to Beijing, and I met one of them. We had a drink together in Beijing. So you meet a lot of very interesting people, but also to say, I'm also very much involved in charity. So I'm working with the Rotary Club of Beijing. This is an award I got from the Red Cross in Shanghai for helping out for the Sichuan, I think flood, for the Sichuan flood many years ago in the 90s. So yeah, keeps me very busy. You don't see here what I like to do as a hobby. This is nothing here.
You've actually retired in China. Most people, when they retire, they want to go back to their country and live in the countryside. But you still live in the downtown of Beijing.
Yes, well, people sometimes ask me, oh, it's holiday. Are you going back home? I say, yes, I go back to Beijing because this is my home.
Because you live in the middle of Beijing.
Yeah.
It's just a walking distance from Sarlington.
I live next to the Beijing indoor stadium, which is, if I'm right, this side, the north side from Julong, and then on the east side we have the Worker Stadium. So I'm very also sentimental with the Worker Stadium because I've seen all the events there. I have seen the destruction of the old one, building the new one. Very excited. I love this location because I'm a lazy guy. I can walk from here all over Saint-Litun. So sometimes I bike, I have my own bicycle, or I take a shared bike. Or most of the time I just walk from here. I can cover many of the restaurants. As you know, I'm also a food
vlogger.
Yeah. Here are some other pictures, kind of interesting. This is with the former president of the Beijing Development and Reform Commission, who was my big boss when I started to work for the Olympics. He was the one who told me, oh, Gilbert, we need you. We must do the stadiums for the Olympics and we don't have money. Can you find it? So I also was a torchbearer.
A torchbearer for the Olympics?
For the Olympics. That was actually an event in Hangzhou. And also very exciting.
Yeah, I saw this picture online.
That was the only time foreigners were on the October 1 big parade on Tiananmen. So there was one float, we were about 30 foreigners selected, and of course I'm very clever.
Yeah, you wore it. That's right there.
I used something that was very visual. Many people saw me on TV, and it was a very exciting.
And who is this officer right here?
This is before the NAP. It's very interesting because he's public security 00001. He gave me one of my green cards. So this is all many, exciting. This is actually one of the things of UWE that I do seminars. This is in Zhejiang, in a very special university where they train the people to work in hotels, in restaurants, and so on. So very exciting.
Very exciting journey.
Very exciting.
The last time we had the interview, remember, they were constructing the subway.
Yeah.
And now it's opened.
Yeah. Also, one other thing I'm involved with I mentioned UWE, and we have a special thing. I put it here on the table to look. We organize every year a big exhibition in the Louvre in Paris for children's drawing, paintings.
Children's art.
Yeah, so it is really incredible what the kids do. We collected more than 10,000 drawings from kids from all over the world, many countries, of course, a lot from China, but also from Europe, from the States, from other countries. This is one of the samples we have. And it's really very nice. The UWE International Art Exhibition, yeah. So you see, yes, I am retired.
You have
but
a
I
very
am very busy.
interesting journey, a very busy life. I mean, thank you so much. I saw this on YouTube on your channel, and I was like, I really need to come here and watch this Hall of Fame. Let's check out this. I see a lot of signatures on
Oh,
this.
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about this?
This actually, I organized a party in my favorite restaurant, it's Morel's, here on Gonti Belo. And you look at the date, December 2020,
Okay.
40 years
Yes,
of China.
China.
And so
This was your 40 years anniversary.
anniversary. So I invited many people. They all put their name here. We had our Belgian ambassador. We had the ambassador of the European Union coming, who is also a very old friend of mine. He already left, and many other of my friends. And the very funny thing was, without knowing, we had actually exactly 40 people attending.
40 years, 40 people.
Yes, and I discovered this later because the restaurant owner said, "Oh, Gilbert, we cannot have more than 40 people and something 35 is okay." So in the end, when I checked the list, I said, "Oops, we have exactly 40 people."
Okay, now tell us a little bit about this
Oh,
appointment.
this one, I don't know, it's Chinese. It's one of my zillion appointments I have. That must be the 15th. Wu. Yeah, Wu. That must be the 12th five-year plan, which must be connected to Guo Jinglong. Yeah, so as I
So
said,
45 years in China.
yeah, going to 45.
I was not born.
And this actually is also quite interesting. When I went to Shanghai, the first contract I managed to get is for this tower. This is Jingmao Tower.
Jingmao Tower.
In Shanghai. And I got from my company the contract for the electric distribution. Small, some cables, $20 million. Small contract. Because it's a colossal tower. And people don't understand how you can put cables for electrical distribution. Actually, in the middle of the tower, there is a substation. So cables go up to the middle, there is a substation, and then the other cables go up, because you cannot do too long, the cables. So yeah, many
history.
Many other appointments, I made the list of all the appointments, and I cannot keep track of it, because too many things, really.
You've done so much for China. You've gained a lot of experience living here, almost 45 years. Do you think like your life is fulfilling? Do you feel fulfilled 45 years in China?
Yeah.
If you want to do this, if you are given the opportunity to come back to life and do this again, are you going to choose China and do it again?
Most probably yes, because that's the place to be. Yeah, today we are facing some challenges internationally, but still, if you look, the 40 years of changes I have seen in this country is really impressive. There is no any other place in the world where you have seen so many changes. You should realize when I came to China 1980, 1981, and then you saw Beijing, gosh, that was really countryside, man. There was only one high building, which was the Beijing Hotel, and that was it. And everything was like countryside. And you only saw bicycles and some from these old crappy buses running around. And now you look, it's just, incredible, the changes we have seen. So yes.
Recently, there was a lot of news on the Red app. I want to take you back to that. When a lot of Americans discovered the Xiaohongshu.
The exiles.
And they were like, oh, this is the China.
Exiles.
Yeah. Were you surprised, like most Americans were surprised, like this is China?
Of course, yes. Yesterday I was discussing with some other people about it, an interview with another guy. And I also said, yes, of course, today the opinion about China is not very good and not very favorable in the West, be it Europe, be it America. And then what we see when foreigners come to Beijing right now, and they say, oh gosh, this is China. I didn't know it was like that. It's so different from what I understand and heard in the media in my country. So, yes. But to tell, are you satisfied or not? I mean, one of my mottos is you can never stop learning. even when I'm already retired officially 7-8 years or something like that, I'm still learning. You talk about Xiaohongshu, I'm also on Xiaohongshu and Kuaishou. And I also recently started on TikTok, not on Douyin because I cannot have Douyin. Here, my Apple mobile doesn't allow me to have a Douyin, so I just do some TikTok, also about the restaurants. And you learn every day. I was looking and testing, for example, the new artificial intelligence. And I was testing DeepSeek. And very interesting because my first impression of DeepSeek was not very good. I asked them a question about myself. The response was not very good. There were many huge mistakes in it. I did the same question to ChatGPT. That was perfect. I was like, wow, those guys know a lot about me. But then just 3-4 days ago, I did some other tests again with DeepSeek, and that was very, very good. I can tell you an example, maybe very silly and basic, but the question I asked was, listen, we have face cream, we have body cream, we have hand cream, we have foot cream. What's the difference? So, you ask myself, because the ladies always say, oh, Gilbert, this cream you cannot put on your face, this is for the body, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what's really different, So they came with a perfect report. Okay, face cream. What are the main ingredients? Why it's different? And then exactly the same for the body, for the hands, for the feet. So I said, wow, I kept the result of the search. So I've been using DeepSeek already a couple of times. And yes, pretty impressed. I think this is, for China, a fantastic achievement because out of the blue they came DeepSeek, yeah.
So, I mean, the word is very volatile now. What is your message to the world? If you had to send a word of encouragement, a word of peace to other people watching this video, what do you want to tell them?
Well, like you say, the world is in big turmoil right now, and the message is really difficult to formulate. I would say to all the people, can you please cool down a little bit, and sit together, try to communicate with each other, understand each other. Now, when we look at the United States, they are certainly not giving a good example because it's a complete mess, to be honest. So the West is not always giving a very good example. Europe, we also are divided. We are now faced with, between two hard rocks, USA, China. What do we do? So the best thing is, I think, is just to continue communicating. And I also often talk about it and say, well, there is now negative attitude in the West about China. People are not really anymore interested to come to China, to learn about China, to learn Chinese. This is very wrong because we cannot cut the communication, because one day we will start working together again, and then we will lack a lot of people who have the real correct insight into the country.
So your message to the world is people should cool down.
Cool down and communicate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure watching
Always
you.
A pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And I love your experience living in China, the souvenirs you've collected. I mean, this is so much history. And I hope you write more books about your life here.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you have to write more books about your life here.
The journalist who wrote this piece about me, I really admired him a lot. And the way he structured the story about me, I will use it myself to enlarge it a little bit and to give more details. That's also an idea I have to think about.
So if you're watching this video, don't forget to subscribe and follow my man Gilbert. He's on every social media platform. Are you on Facebook?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Facebook, Instagram?
Instagram, I am on it, but I'm not very impressed with Instagram.
Yeah.
But I am on Facebook, I am on LinkedIn, that is very, very good, I think. Facebook, LinkedIn, and then Twitter, yes. Not too much impressed by Twitter, I think LinkedIn is much better. also professionally speaking. But then, of course, I'm on WeChat channels.
WeChat channels.
I am on
very popular on WeChat channel.
Kuaishou and Xiaohongshu. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're coming to China, you really want to know about China, you have to watch his account on WeChat channel. He documents about various restaurants, favorite restaurants, bars in China, in Beijing especially, places that you can go eat as a foreigner. So yeah, follow him and watch his videos. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I
we
appreciate
say bon appétit.
Bon appetit. Wow, this